Any other questions? Yeah.
What was the super weapon used by the Empress to destroy the Thakran trade vessel and Republic fleet?
And where can I buy it?
Is it the new Amar Titan super weapon?
No. Lady Salom is being smart and keeping that information to herself because it's a good bargaining chip. And you can read actually more about it in the very next novel. It gives you a lot more information about what happened and how it got there, where she got the weapon from, and all that stuff.
Can you tell me anything about what kind of background material that you use, or any particular science fiction worlds or stories to create the world? Are you still using, or is it just generated by itself or they decide?
No, we still use it for walking in stations. We draw our experience from most sci-fi movies. My boss, Torfi, I wanted to show it actually, he made this motivational movie for CCPers made out of several sci-fi movies. There was The Matrix in there. You had The Fifth Element, where Bruce Willis wakes up in his small cabin right before he goes out and meets Lilu. It's like this whole movie clip out of several sci-fi movies. So we're really inspired by sci-fi movies, and it might actually be a sport to see. Hey, I recognize that we took that from Fifth Element, and you might recognize some stuff from several sci-fi movies. Yep.
What could I expect? Was it the conscious thought to make it resemble a certain country from World War II with their certain prejudices?
I think it's inevitable to see the connection, but even though Eve is far, far in the future, I think humanity will not change. We will not learn anything. We still have people who are mean, who are evil, who will say stuff like it's for the greater good, and that will not change. And that's why people can say, hey, that's going on somewhere there, and it's not consciously done. It's not like, okay, let's sit down and study World War II, but we do not think that humanity will someday become a better, nicer species.
I'm not complaining, it's much more fun than shooting about it now. I hate that head guy.
Well, the Dementor has a nicer costume, so I'll give you that.
Better sex, better rules, better drugs. Woo! One generation!
What about the garbage in Quake, though? Yeah. I'll stop being like enemies advocate, devil's advocate. Are there any other questions?
Listening to all this, it feels like Eve is quite a close-knit society or collection of people. Is there any way of getting into this as a new player?
Oh yeah, absolutely. As you can start with from the fiction perspective, you can join a role-playing corps. They will love to have you. If you're not that interested in role-playing, there is a corporation called Eve University. It's where all the old players go and do their bit for community. They will teach new players how to play Eve, how to get into corporations. Because they are old players, they can recommend you corporations they've been a member of. And that's how you can really start getting into Eve. We have forums that can be very helpful and very friendly. They don't think you're a spy. But yeah, it is a tight-knit community, and it's a nice feeling to be a part of it. And as a developer, I still feel part of the community. I still know, what's going on, who's doing what, where can I make profit. And you're more than welcome to join us. You won't be like, oh, you know what's going on. I mean, players usually love to tell stories about what they were doing and what happened and give you the history, and you can make your own. some people who are not too fond of the people who drive player history. They don't feel comfortable with it, and they embrace the role-playing aspect a lot more. And for people who are not too fond of role-playing, they will really embrace the player history more, and they work in that. But when they come together in some way, they actually show the most respect for each other. Like, everybody loved Usha Khan's propaganda message in Eon. That was like, wow, that's really, really cool. So it's fun to see that all groups actually follow each other, because in the end, it's still all about Eve. It's still one big history.
Which one do you rather read yourself? The official book or the player-created stories?
I prefer the player-created stories because, well, I'm not unfamiliar with the e-fiction. I like the e-fiction. I wrote about the Eve events. I brainstorm with the guys who do all this stuff. It's just my preference. I like to see how players start something and all the intrigue that goes on in there, and then who's fighting them, what happened in TeamSpeak, and how that's all set up. Okay, that's it. It's happy. It's her fault.